In the last video, we looked at some activities that need fuel and how using all that fuel is leading to higher temperatures and global warming. So last video, we looked at things that need fuel. This video, we're going to learn about what types of fuel you can use to get the energy for all of these things. So let's start with that first one there, which is just talking about a car. Now, if you are driving along in your car, you know that sometimes you need to stop and add more fuel. Well, what do you put into your car as its fuel? You probably said gasoline, and you are 100% correct. And there's some other cases where we would use fuel. For example, let's say you're trying to have a big barbecue with your friends, and so you're grilling up some delicious meat or vegetables. And if you want to burn something here, you need fuel. And in this case, what might you use? Well, you might use wood, or let's also list out coal, oil, or sometimes you might have like a gas grill also. All of these different types of fuels, these are all chemicals. Gasoline, coal, oil, these are all chemicals that store a lot of energy. And when we burn it, we can use that energy as heat. And all of these fuels together are called fossil fuels. And just like fossils, these are buried deep under the ground. They've been there for millions of years. Using fossil fuels is a problem for two reasons. First of all, when we burn them, they're very dirty. They pollute a lot of heat and greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. And like we saw, when you add heat and greenhouse gases from more fuel use, that leads to higher temperatures and global warming. The other reason they're bad is because they're buried under the ground. We only have a set amount of them. When these are used up, that's it. There's no more. So we need to be careful that we aren't using them up too fast. Well, now, in your everyday life, you're certainly using a lot of fuel, but you probably aren't burning a lot of things to get that fuel. So like if you want to make toast in the morning, maybe you use your toaster, and that's just plugged into the wall. And where does that energy come from? Well, the energy in our wall actually comes from power plants. So behind the scenes, behind these walls, we've got power lines that run through our yards, through our neighborhoods, all the way until they get back to a power plant. And a power plant is just a building that burns fuel to make electricity. So inside, you've got some fancy machines that are burning one of these fossil fuels, oil, coal, or gas, and make some smoke coming out. That's the pollution we talked about. But by burning these things, this is how we get electricity. And electricity, you can think of it as a way of carrying energy from one place to another. So a toaster, you could say, uses electricity as its fuel, but electricity still needs a fuel in order to make it, that oil, coal, or gas. So electricity is sort of like a second-hand fuel that still requires some fuel in order to make the electricity.